Hi, folk. Glad we could connect with you again and share some thoughts. And as we continue to connect with you each week, we ask that God would just bring you a word of encouragement and a word of direction. I have not known any significant trials in my life. I guess for me and for most of us, COVID-19 is going to be the significant trial that we've lived through. If I know anything about trials and if I know anything about how to approach a trial, it is from what I have learned from individuals who've gone through trials. And I think of a poem that John Newton wrote that I have in my files, and this reading that I'm going to give you today that is from the life of Andrew Murray, a man who knew some trials and experienced God's wonderful grace through their trials. Here is a story from Andrew Murray. It was 1897, 95, and Murray was 67 years of age. He was touring in Europe and touring in England and America, and God was blessing his ministry as he ministered. While in England, returning home from an evening of significant blessing where God's presence was known and folk were wonderfully encouraged, there was in the home a letter awaiting him. It was from a significant Christian leader of that time, and it was filled with criticism, harsh criticism of Mr. Murray, accusing him of teaching error. Well, his friends and guests in the home were very annoyed, in fact quite angered at the criticism that was leveled against Murray. Murray's response was a very gracious one, and before going to bed that night, he got on his knees with his friends and prayed, and he said to them, if I am teaching anything in error, I'm asking the Lord to reveal that to me, that I may correct it. Well, it was a bit of a trial, not exactly the kind we're going through, but nevertheless for him a trial that he was facing. It was the Lord's Day the next day, and Murray had stayed in bed a bit longer because he was suffering from his back ailments. While touring in South Africa, he was thrown from a cart and suffered a significant back injury which continued on for many, many years. Lying in bed, he wrote these words as a comfort and a direction to his own life, and I will share them with you at this time. And so Murray wrote, in time of trouble say, first, he brought me here. It is by his will I am in this strait place. In that fact, I will rest. Next, he will keep me here in his love and give me grace to behave as his child. Then he will make the trial a blessing, teaching me the lessons he intends me to learn, and working in me the grace he wants to bestow. Last, in his good time, he can bring me out again. How and when, he knows. Let me say, I'm here by God's appointment, in his keeping, under his training, and for his time. I wish I could write theology like that. I wish I could believe, in fact I do, but I wish I could live out theology like that in a very practical way. And I wonder if this can be applied to our situation as we face COVID-19. Is God speaking to us? Has God brought us here? Can we say it is by his sovereign will that we are in this difficult situation? If it is, can we accept it? How long will God keep us here? Are we here, as Murray says, in his love? Will we find God's grace to behave as his child? And how will God turn this into a blessing? Do we see any blessings already coming out of this situation? John Murray's assurance was this: God will make the trial a blessing, teaching me the lessons He intends me to learn, and working in me the grace He means to bestow. What are the lessons we're learning? Any lessons you and I have already learned? And who will bring us out of this trying situation? Some are saying, will we ever come out? And the big question being asked all the time is, when? How long will we be in this state for? Listen to Murray's thinking. In His good time, He can bring me out again. How and when, He knows. My brothers and sisters, there are things that we can be very confident about in God's dealing with us and with the rest of the world. Things we can be very certain about. But the how long, what losses will be sustained, when will God give relief? Andrew Murray would say, how and when He knows. In the meantime, I and you need to respond as children of God. COVID-19, a severe trial for Canada, a severe trial for the world, a severe trial for you and I. How do we respond? Are we willing to embrace the theology of Andrew Murray? I am here by God's appointment, in His keeping, under His training, for His time. It's my desire to respond in this way. How about you? There's more to the story, which I will share with you by email, so watch for it. Until then, grace and peace.